Hey guys, welcome to another voice blog. Today I want to talk about inhibitions. But firstly I just want to say welcome to 2015. My goal for this year is to put out a video each week, and this is the first one, so let's see how it goes. So inhibitions as a singer, most problems that you're going to face if you have vocal problems are linked to inhibitions in some way. That sense of being stifled. And usually that's linked in some way to self-esteem and the platform that your personal self-esteem is based on. So I want to talk about two kinds of foundations for self-esteem. One is toxic and one is much more healthy if you're a singer, and I'm going to encourage you to start transitioning over if you're in the toxic side. So let's talk about the toxic side, the toxic self-esteem. What do I mean by that? Well, the self-esteem that causes massive problems with singing because it makes you need to be good and hold on and do anything you can to be good. And it is basically people that have had a family culture when they were growing up that basically said your value as a person is derived from how good you are at something, and also how good other people see you as, if that makes sense. So if other people see you as great, then that means your value's increased, and if you are obviously one of the best, then you have a lot of value as a person. If you aren't, if you're not very good, and if other people really aren't interested, you have less value. It's just that is the kind of culture that a lot of people grow up in. So what that does is it creates this impossible problem for a singer, because if you're learning to vocalize, in order to do that, you have to basically be open, comfortable with falling over all the time, comfortable with failure, comfortable with sounding not very good. That's just the learning process. Like if you see a child learning to walk, they fall over a lot. They aren't socially stifled, so they're able to just like enjoy the process. But as we get older, that conditioning, that self-esteem that is based on, if I'm not good, I have no value, that causes a lot of the inhibitions and the need to be good very quickly. Now, conversely, the opposite to that, a much more healthy foundation for self-esteem, is self-esteem that draws from two things. Your ability to put time and effort and hard work into something over a long period of time, regardless of the outcome, and just being enough innately. Just like a 2-year-old, you know, they're not good at anything, but they don't walk around like, oh, I'm useless at walking, I'm useless at talking, I can barely talk English, oh, I'm so bad, I'm so like... They don't have this sense of, I'm not good, so I don't have value. And you have to get back to that if you want to learn to sing. You have to get back to, I'm valuable. And whether I become the greatest singer on the planet or I never make much progress at all, it makes no difference to my value as a person. None at all. And you can apply this in all kinds of situations. So when you're practicing, accept that it's going to go wrong a lot. Sound bad, be comfortable sounding bad. When you're performing, if people come up to you after the gig and say that was amazing, yeah, cool, thank you so much, that's great. But don't think that means you're more valuable as a person. Conversely, if you're doing shows and you're not getting any feedback, and you're kind of well aware that you're, you know, I'm learning this, I'm figuring it out, don't worry about it. There's going to be people that have been singing a lot longer than you, and they're going to be further along, and that's cool. They're not more valuable than you. They have the same value as you. They're just a person on this planet. So, those are the two foundations for self-esteem, and most people won't necessarily lie completely at one extreme or the other. They might land somewhere in the middle. They might have a mixture of both, depending on. In some contexts, they might lean more towards one, and in others they might lean more towards the other. But I'm going to encourage you in this video, as singers, as learning singers, move away from anything that's any sense of, if I'm not good at this, I have no value. If I can't figure this out very quickly, I have no value. Move towards, I am valuable, regardless of if I am the worst singer in the world or the best. I've got the same value. I can contribute to this world. Those kinds of ideas. Those are the kinds of things that are going to start letting go. Just make sound. Not like all that crap coming in when it's like, oh, I've got to sound good. If I don't sound good, I've got no value. It's all garbage. So really, like, a big part of singing, like learning to sing, the scary part of it all is that all of the problems are caused by, or a lot of the problems are caused by, that social conditioning, that foundation that self-esteem has been linked to. And the challenge you face as a learning singer is basically getting back to the start. How was I when I was like 8 years old? I wasn't depressed. Like, I wasn't like worrying that I couldn't do this, that, or the other. I was just enjoying life and enjoying, like, experiencing life, breathing, smelling things, like just looking around, like all that crazy stuff that's amazing. We become teenagers and we just lose all that stuff. We start to become self-conscious, like, oh, the world's out to get me and things, and we go down and down and down, and a lot of people keep going down forever. If you've started to go down that hole, scoop out, come back up, and start to realize you've got value, and get back to that place where you're just open-minded, free to express yourself, free to explore, free to make mistakes, free to learn, free to do whatever you like. That kind of open mindset is just so healthy for singers learning. I can't even explain. And the other one, you can, well, I'm a great example. If you're linked to that, you can sing for years and just get really almost nowhere. Even though you're applying yourself much more than most people, you're working really hard, you're doing everything you should be doing, you're working, you know, you've got your exercises down, all this stuff. If you don't address your inner game, if you don't address like these core issues of like, what do I value? Like, what do I value in other people? Like, how do I see other people when they perform? And what do how do I assess their value? Do I just see everybody and assume they have value? Or do I say, oh, he's not very good. He's not very, you know, he's useless. He doesn't have much value. Wow, she's amazing. She's got so much value. Again, the way you perceive others, it's a good sign of how you perceive yourself. And if you can start to get away from that and just see people as valuable regardless, and enjoy the world, enjoy your life, you're going to get to that place where you can actually start really going on a journey to discover your voice, rather than holding on and beating it up to try and smack it into some kind of sound that you think is good or something. Because really, like, free singing, uninhibited singing, like, it's ridiculously easy, like almost sickeningly easy. But it can only be easy if the inside of that person is like comfortable and free to find it. And unfortunately, most of us learning as adults have some degree of that stifling that's locking us in place and holding us rigid and not letting us move around and sing. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again. Bye bye, Happy New Year.